Hello guys, my name is BDX3 and I'm playing Legion TD right on the Warcraft 3 Champions server. So this will be a guide video for you to make it a little bit easier to understand what is important to do and what is needed for having a good game, and just not mess around too much if you just start it. So basically the most important things are your lumber income, and so is your building way, the placement of the towers, and the team playing actually. So you're communicating with your teammates, and luckily we have a lot of good peoples here, right? So you can always ask for advices, what you could basically build, and should be good to go. So on the town, you're using the wisps to get the lumber, right? They are farming it by themselves. It's pretty easy to understand the system behind it. If you're not pretty new into it, you already know what I'm talking about, right? To get a higher income by the wisps itself, you have to basically up the lumberjack. Most likely you are starting also with like 3 wisps, then you are going for 1 lumberjack, and then you are keep on going. This is like the most effective way to have nice income, right? The fastest way they are gaining the lumber, and that's pretty much it. As you could see, I'm building sometimes around the walls, like right here, and sometimes a little bit in the front. I will explain it in a second why I do so. And of course, it's pretty logical. You will understand this. You don't have to worry about the value of the towers. As I said, you can actually always ask your teammates to what is the best things to build up, and they will pretty much help you there. So what I'm doing now is I built something around the wall, as I said it before. The reason is literally the range units are range, right? Like they are using the 4 attack way. So it's making sense to not put them into the front. Since we have nothing else, let me put just an egg right here. Perfect. This is looking good. And this is the forest I'm going, right? This one is used as a puller, and puller is something which is attacking the first spamming wave, right? As the first tower to attack it, it's taking them all to the wall. As you can see, the placements are pretty important. So you have a clearer, more clear way to clear it up, and basically that's how you do it. You see someone is making a call, right? We will 2 HP 7 means like upgrade the HP 2 times. Do it on the town. Pretty simple, right? I mean, as I said, the best way to learn it actually is, of course, the practice way. So make sure you communicate with the team and ask them about the towers you should get and when to send it and what is needed to have a nice income, right? So we are upping another wisp. It's a little bit too late, right? Just to clarify, a little bit too late, but it's still important to get like 2 more, so you're not too far away, right, from the lumber earning. Alright, so far so good. I think upgrade this bad boys, and we will get a tree, because it's an slow tower. We are not upgrading it by yet, but we will do it later on. It's really strong. Auras are most likely the best things to get also in this game. So don't skip them, try to get them, but don't greed them, right? Don't greed them is something like, if you have a bad setup, you shouldn't get it, right? Otherwise you might leak it and your team might get upset with you, and yeah, right? I think it's easy to understand if you are a little bit into it, you played it before. So alright, the positioning, as you can see, is really important. Otherwise you might having a really rough game. I will play the whole game so you are seeing like what I'm doing, right? The lumberjack upgrade is needed right now. You do it after you got 5 wisps at 3. Remember, you're up at 1 time, then you're getting another 2 wisps and upgrade it again to have a higher income with each of them, right? So, alright, now it's time for me to upgrade the dwarvens to the mutants, right? This is now in range unit, and most likely your puller should be in range 1. The best ones is, I think, the Rifleman. Like, it is the best one to get used as in puller. Yeah, it having high range, it's hitting really quick, and you're good to go. We cannot go through all the towers, unfortunately, but you can maybe, or sometimes you have to activate them, like this ones, right? You are using 100 lumber for it to have a nice, to have more range and higher bouncing attack. I think the damage is also increasing. Oh yeah. Nice, we are doing fine. I really like that. I'm gonna go for 2 more wisps on the town. The other buildings here, the barrack and the advanced barrack, is for us to send the creeps, right? To use the lumber with it. So, also pretty easy. Like, you can ask your team always what is the best things to stand here. Because, as I said, I'm not like the most experienced one, right? I'm trying to explain it as good as I can. But if you have questions on, you can, of course, use it in the comments. I will try to answer them as soon as possible. Alright, now this is in King League. Now, it's not in King League, it's called in League. Right? League means basically that you wasn't able to clear up the wave. Right? Now, the other teammates have to clear it up. If it's reaching the king, you have to be worried. If it is too much, of course. And, yeah. What is also one important thing, because we have the Warcraft 3 custom games, the mode is different, right? The mode is really, really different from it. You play it on the regular one, on the custom games section, and most likely... Just a second. Let me concentrate. Make sure that I'm upgrading the right things. Yeah, here we go. And also I think I'm a juice. Juice is, by the way, the steroids, right? Injects. There you go. Our mutant is juiced, as you can see. We upgraded to HP already, right? This means, and the call were like to HP 7, so we know we are sending at level 7. You have to check a little bit more on the team's buildings. Make sure that you have the right things. Also build it up. Your job here is to hold every wave, right? And going with the income. At level 5, most likely you're going for 10 wisps and 2 lumberjacks. Most likely. It's not possible because you are missing 1 wisp. It is not too bad, but you have to adjust it as soon as possible. So the mode is differently because it's harder, right? Like, it's the hard mode. You don't have the X3 things, which is like you're sending 1 creep and it's getting spammed 3 times for the enemy team. And yeah, it's a little bit like practice, like learning by doing. But this is pretty much the basics. You're pushing the wisps. The building way is pretty important. And the lumberjack, right? But yeah, I'm sorry. As I said, you can always ask your team about things like that. And most likely you have experienced player. Like, it's also placed by the MMR you have, right? And so you know for sure that red should be good enough, right, to tell you what's good or not. Most likely, right? If you are starting as a new player, you will start with 1500 MMR, which is actually not bad at all. But even then you can communicate with your teammates and make sure that you are speaking the same language, right? You're not, you can see it, we are building all a little bit the same because this is the most effective way to play it. This is a little bit wrong, but it's not too bad. right? So if you're building like this in the beginning, shouldn't worry and keep on trying to do it as good as you can. And it's it, right? We will stay at 10-2 because it's more important sometimes to hold the wave instead of just over pushing. Over pushing means that I would go right now, for an example, for another lumberjack, which would affect my holding wave, right? Like my attempt to hold the wave, and it wouldn't work, right? So it's more effective to not get it. Instead of that, we'll stay as it is. We will send also because we called it, right? Remember, 2 HP, level 7 is exactly what this one is meaning. For level 7, it is always good to send some range units, but more important is the aura setup, right? For Bolt, it's having every unit have its own ability, right? I must send it really quick for the income, because you are getting gold with the creeps you are sending, right? With the, how you call it, summons you're sending, right? So as I said, it is really important to have the aura set. Like the 4-bolt is adding armor for the spam of yours, which is attacking the towers of the enemies, right, on the other team. The commander is adding some bonus damage. Then you have the hermit who's healing HP each second, like a bonus regeneration, right? Pretty strong. And the dino also have like an ability, having like a poison damage and slowing the enemies down as well, right? Now we might struggle here, guys, because I have a bad setup for this round, but luckily we are professionals. That was just a joke, right? It was just a joke, but we'll try, of course, to do it as good as I can to kind of hold it. Build another rifleman right here. And what I will also do is reduce it, right? Because this is like a hard level, they will send also the summons and will make it harder for us to stay alive this round. So this is how you end also the games, right? Sending the right things or making it harder for the other team. And yeah. What I'm not doing is didn't check too much on the team setups. Also, you can taunt. The King's Taunt is canceling the attack of the units which are fighting against you for a second. Look at this. See, they cancelled and now they're re-attacking. So most likely you are using it a lot of times and trying to, yeah, keep your units also like longer alive. As you can see, I have some struggle to clear it up, but we are on a good way. I think we might not leak here. It's really, really good. And you can see the leaks also right here. West alive. It's like 10 for us. West is this place where we are at. And this is the east side. This have nothing to do with the hip-hop, right? That was just a joke. I will lose your humor, guys. Now, what is important is that whenever you see or have like a huge king league, you have to lumberjack, right? Immediately, most likely. And you can see communication is here. That's saying like go for 5 times the lumberjack, which is a lot. I'm a little bit curious about it, but of course we will not manipulate the game by not following. We'll try to play together, even if I have maybe like right now a different opinion, right? I would still push it like 2 times, maybe 5 times, like for 10 wisps and 5 lumberjacks. But we'll see. Now we see the reason, right? They want to resend it, and we will of course follow it. You can also, what is a nice option is you can decide one team leader, right? Which is making the game easier for you. The team leader is overviewing basically everything and is trying to look at the best possible level to send. He's taking care of yourself as well. He's checking on your buildings and is giving you also like the tips. And this is also making the game most likely easier for yourself, right? So keep this one in mind. This is not in full resend. So I'm unsure about the 10 wisps and 5 push here. I would stay as it is. Because I'm thinking that if I would do so, I might struggle, right, to hold the next rounds. I will do it when the next round is starting. And also, yeah, trying to, you know, do the best I can here. Alright, I think we are good to go like this. Basically, we could go for another one. We will just wait for the 40 more gold. Everything else, I'm keeping like 100 on the side. Not, I have to juice it. Like juicing, right? Upgrading the mutants to have a nice, strong attack. Right? So there we go. We are waiting. Reach the gold which is needed. And we are upping it immediately, of course. Right? We will stay at 10.5. And we will not upgrade it more. Because it's not making sense to do so. As I said, you're losing value. Right? The value is the number of all your towers together. Most likely it's kind of depending on the gold which you are investing on them. And yeah. I will command, I will, yeah, use the King's Taunt to make, like, to cancel the auto attack from the spamming wave. And there you go, we are holding it. So now this is basically proving what I just told you, that when you're over pushing it too fast, maybe what is the case right here, you might not be able to hold it. I'm really glad that we can take this example right here, right? I waited for the 10-4, I made sure that I'm holding the wave, and then I give it a go, right? Kind of proud of myself right here, I have to say it. And what is really bad is that we have in King League, just like so. And most likely you're, of course, trying to keep the heals up, right? No matter what. I think, yeah, we have to upgrade it because it's getting too close. We have a lot of lumber. It's not worth it to, you know, not upgrade it and banking like all the lumber just like so. Always worth it if you can save and heal. Sometimes you can kind of risk it to maybe not upgrade it and give it a nice go for the next levels. But we want to be ahead, right? Want to be ahead. And I think we have to give it a go for 6. Or we can't send. So I'm telling my team basically that we have to push one more time because we had to upgrade it. We don't have the lumber no more. We have to push one more lumberjack, right? To have a faster income with the wisps. And it's kind of needed because we are standing on level 10, right? We're standing on level 10. So we saved the King's Heel and we pushed another one. Unfortunately, my team is not following, which is also okay. I will report them just after the game and we should be good to go. That was just a joke, guys. Never lose your humor, right? And yeah, basically what I'm doing right now is I'm preparing for level 10 because level 10 is really, really hard. Right? It is in boss level. And on boss levels, you have to make sure it's depending. Also, you can hold up a second, guys. I'm talking a little bit like, there you go. You can write, for an example, info 10, and it's giving you the details about level 10, for an example, right? So it's important to do so. So you know it's light armors. What are you needing for light armor? The pierce damage, right? The pierce damage. Luckily, I noticed that I didn't use. Otherwise, this might be really bad for me, right? We did it. Let's hope they are not sanding. And they sanded it, which is making it not too good for me. Because I built it up, I prepared for level 10. And now we can maybe struggle here. But luckily, we have a nice way we built it up. The Zoys are most likely, this is by the way the Zoys which I talked about in the beginning, right? It's killing the creeps which they are sending, the summons. You see it? There you go, the troll is dead. Oh, it's aiming on the warlock. And you can see the catapult is dead. This is pretty strong, right? So if you have something like that, you should be good to go. Not holding, no one is holding. This is really bad, right? Now we will struggle. Only thing which we can do is to max the king. Maxing the king means that you are upgrading it as good as you can to not die here, right? To not lose the game at this point. And that's it. maybe it's enough, maybe it's not enough. You can see it, the enemy team holded it pretty nice. They have experienced players as well as we are, like not the best of the best, but they also know what they are doing, right? So let's see how this one is going. We'll not forget about the Kingstown, which is really important. And I would recommend you, if you got a little bit into it, to use the builder on an hotkey and to use the town as well on a hotkey. I'm doing it on 5 for the builder, for the prophet, right? The prophet is this guy right here, right? The dancer. And of course, the building then on the 6, like hotkey number 6. It's making it easier if you have to change it sometime. Yeah. So you know it's clearing up pretty slow because level 9 is an tanky level, and no, you have to take your time to clear it up. The most important thing is that we are not dying here, which is pretty good news. We can still stand on level 10, and what is even better is that we kind of prepared for it, but we will not already be fine with the situation. We'll still on the Kingstowns and to make sure that we are not dying here, right? At this area, right here, you can see what you already have, right? Like the attack on the king, it is maxed. The HP is maxed. The regeneration is maxed. The purge is active. Purging is, I will show it now. You could maybe go back a little bit and you can see it. It having a design on the top of one unit. And the unit itself have a lot of HP, a lot of damage. It's tankier. It's having some auras on it. And you can use the purge to defect, or how you say it, deactivate the auras. For an example, you are getting minus armor, and yeah, it's important. But keep in mind, the purge is not easy to use, right? Like you can't just press it when they reach the king because it's having like an area which is affecting it, and most likely let someone else use it in the beginning, right? Because it's draining a lot of mana. I think it is half of it. Oh yeah, maybe just, you know, keep the king control away. This is something which you will learn later on. I just want to show it to you. It's taking like 40%, 40% of the mana you have, right? So a little bit, yeah, not too easy to use, right? So I'm getting the Harlot right here. I'm putting it in the bag so the ability can... Alright, right. I will build this really quick. Yeah, there we go. I think we'll stay like that. I will prepare one. Reduce it. Alright, guys, I'm sorry. I have to concentrate. And we will send a Warlock. A Warlock also have a nice and strong ability. It's reducing the armor of the enemy units, enemy towers. And yeah, let's see how this one is going. As we saw, we prepared pretty early. Let's see if it was worth it. Right, let's see if it was worth it. It's not looking like. It's not looking like. Hey, but never mind. We might hold it. Hold up a second, I said. And there we go, just like so. This is, by the way, in boss level. This is one of the hardest one. And pretty alright that we... Guys, this is fine. If you do like so, you don't have to worry. And this is perfect, right? You could see we were behind. They sent it on level 9. And now they have this huge king league with a not upgraded king. It is 44 HP, 0 attack damage. And this is looking like the game form, right? And even in situations like that, you have to make sure that you are still using the Kingstown because you don't want to lose the race. Everything could happen still. But luckily, right, we are looking just fine here. And just like so, I hope you enjoyed the show. And that's pretty much everything which I can tell you right now, right? I Hope I did it in the best possible way for you to understand what this game is about. And if you're interested, check out my next video. I will explain you guys how to get into the server I am at. It is combined with, of course, the Warcraft 3 Reforged community, right? And yeah, you have a nice option here to gain some elos. Let me show you this one as well really quick, so you have a better taste of it, all right? Current games which are running, but more of it in the next video. Right, guys? Take care, enjoy your time, and if you have any questions, just feel free to hit the comment sections. I will answer it in the best possible way, right? To make it understandable for you. And right, goodbye.